Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Dwayne Gordon. I'm a fire investigator for Meadowbrook Fire Rescue. I'm here today to show and explain why the evidence that was collected should be admitted and shown to a jury in this arson investigation. On February 1st, 2022, units were dispatched to 614 May Street at 1:17 in the afternoon. When first units on scene arrived, they had smoke visible and called a working fire. The first units gained entry, and once they started doing primary search and initial attack, they found in the living area they were encountered with heavy black smoke and fire that was predominantly around the TV. Once the fire was extinguished and they were able to assess more of what happened, there was burn patterns and plastic behind the TV that didn't match. And with any working fire, arson investigator is dispatched to the scene. I was en route to this scene when a second call come in while the units on scene were still cleaning up and getting ready to get back in service, waiting on me to get on scene. A full alarm fire came in with children trapped inside. The officers in charge deemed it necessary to go ahead and leave the scene that was 3 blocks away to go for a rescue for the children trapped inside. I was en route to this scene, and with there being a working fire, the state of Alabama allows for an investigation to be done to find origin and cause of the fire, which opens up the door where a warrantless search is allowed, because again, due to the state fire code, you are able to find the cause and origin of the fire. I arrived on the scene. The units that was on scene was at the working fire where there was rescue going on. There was nobody there. The occupants weren't there. Police was not there. The structure was unsecure. So I began my investigation. I started taking pictures on the outside, inside, and I was starting to do my investigation as I moved forward into the house. As I did, I found burn and pour patterns on the floor that indicate where there was an accelerant used at this time. Also, while doing my investigation, there was pieces of personal furniture and stuff that was missing, and it looked like it was staged. The things didn't match. There was a broken TV that didn't have a power cord that was burning, that were predominantly the fire was, that just did not fit the scenario. So I took samples of that. As I do further investigation, look behind the TV, there's melted plastic showing that there was more accelerant used here, and that was the origin of the actual fire as it spread. I took samples from the carpet at that time, took samples on the exterior of the burn pattern, also took samples from other parts of the structure so that tests could be compared for any accelerants or anything to match and have it used for a base. So the reason there is exigent circumstances for this is justified with a court case, Christian Reed Smith versus State of Idaho. In this judgment shows where at the time there's exigent circumstances that will allow us to gain entry, even if at the time the fire department has left the scene at that moment, that I will still be able to go in and do my search and be able to find the cause and origin of the fire of stuff that's within plain sight. And so with that being said, at 117, you can see where we had a unit that did respond. They had a working fire, and in here it shows that I was en route on that scene. And here's a copy of the run where the units that were on scene secure until I could get there had a full alarm fire that did have children trapped inside that they did go inside and rescue. So with that being said, that allowed for me to be able to go in and do a warrantless search and start gathering evidence of stuff that was in plain sight. And so, due to the court case Christian Reed Smith versus State of Idaho, that allows me to be able to come in and do a search. Also, in RSOG, it shows where the state of Alabama also gives the right for a fire investigator in a working fire to be able to go and find the origin and cause of the fire to deem whether it was arson or not arson. And so that opens the door for us to be able to come in with a warrantless search. Now, we do recognize the Fourth Amendment, and with the exigent circumstances that was going on at the time when I was en route to the scene, that allowed me to be able to continue my investigation once I arrived on scene. And the building was not secure, and the homeowners were not there to gain permission or for them to deny permission into the building. But I did need to find what the origin and cause of the fire was, and that's when it was deemed this was going to be an arson fire. So, due to the ruling of Christian Reed Smith versus State of Idaho, this allows for the evidence that has been gathered and submitted to be shown and admitted for presentation to a jury. Thank you for your consideration.